game. In your managerial career, have you known such a long period of time during a season where you actually haven't had a game to play?
No, we've had quite a few this season, obviously with the international breaks where we've been a little bit stop-start, so we're getting used to it now. It's, obviously we look at it positively, try and get everybody to refocus and re-energise and use it like that.
Does it give you a chance to get the team fit and get all the little niggles and knocks out of the way?
They're not really going to get, at this stage of the season, any more fitness into them, because that's, that their fitness levels will be, where they should be now. It's more about, I would say, mental freshness and clearing their minds and heads and making sure we're ready to go.
What do you do with the players when they haven't got a game coming up and they are in training? Because I know you've given them some days off, obviously, because it seems like the right thing to do, but to actually make sure that they're not kind of getting a bit stale and it's the same thing in training every day.
Yeah, we just try and make it interesting and freshen things up, and a few competitions and things like that, just to try and keep it fresh.
You talk about the international break. 7 players on international duty now, especially with Sam Ricketts coming in on loan. Does that make training different as well because you haven't got as many players?
Yeah, it scales everything down in terms of the numbers. So we, instead of playing 11 sides and 9 sides, we're playing 5 sides.
Has it been difficult trying to work out which international game you wanted to go to last night, whether it was England? I know Massimo was kind of ruled out of the Australia-Germany game a few days before, but before that, were you kind of tossing up, do I go and watch the World Champions, do I go and watch the England under-20s?
Call me presumptuous, I don't know, but I'm not sure the budget would have stretched to Dubai or Kaiserslautern. So I always thought I was having a trip along the M4 last night. So it was never any other thought in my mind.
What did you think of the England game? And I know John Swift got 20 minutes. It's, the other players were on the bench, but did he do all right for you?
Yeah, I thought he did okay when he came on. He gave it a little bit of a spark and does what John can do. He asks questions of the opposition, dribbling and getting at them. So yeah, I enjoyed the game. I thought Mexico were very good in spells, and England came back into it late on. Obviously the other boys are going to play on Sunday. So I thank Aidy for that one. He's got me a nice trip down to Plymouth on Sunday afternoon. So looking forward to that.
What does it give the group, going up as a 4, training together with the England setup? Does it give them anything to bring back to the county ground?
I think it's just more experience for them, and it reinforces that their own beliefs, that they are good players, that they've been recognised as internationals. So it can only be good for us, thinking long term.
Does it change their thinking as well in terms of, because they're going and training with different players as well? Do they come back with a little bit of a buzz and a little bit more confidence? Have you seen that from when they've come back from internationals before, the other players?
It's obviously the first time the young ones have been away,
yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see how they react. Massimo obviously come back from the Asia Cup, and his internationals, a different player, more confident and really mixing it on the big stage. And then similar to Yasser as well, Yasser's thoroughly enjoyed his time with Iraq, and it's given that extra bit of confidence.
Talking to Massimo, how much contact have you had with the Australian team? Because obviously he's carrying that groin strain at the moment, ruled him out of the Germany game.
Yeah, it's not this trip for us is not ideal for Massimo, because he won't, he wouldn't have, he'd have been touch and go to play tomorrow. So sorry, on Saturday if he was with us. So from a selfish point of view, I hope he doesn't play in the next game, but I've got a suspicion he will.
With Massimo looking like he might play, does that make you think more about what you do with your team, because you don't want to burn him out before the end of the season, and next weekend is a pretty massive weekend for the club, I guess?
Yeah, I think in my mind I've got teams that I want to play, having in against MK and against Bristol City, because I've seen them both play over the last week. So I've got certain ideas in my head that I want him to put into practice, but I think it's futile planning that until we see how everybody comes back. And once I know who's back fit, who's not fit, then we'll start to really look at it.
What have you been doing on the Saturdays?